Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Om Ajnanaतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpataruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Okay, we welcome all of you to our weekly online Krishna book classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Auntie Nita, Swami, Aja, Divina, Jolie Nandwani, Kamala Nandini Mataji. We have Anjali Karnani, Karuna, Manjuni Halani, Meenakshi. We have NC Venkatchari. My husband is there. My parents are there. Then we have Rito Lalwani. We have Shri Radhe Hari Devidasi Mataji. Then we have Swapna Latkar. And we have Vivansh. Okay. So what did we see in the previous class?
The King of Heaven.
What was that? What about him?
That after Krishna lifting Govardhan hill, his pride got destroyed, so he went to Brahma. Then Brahma told him to go and get this cow who was the mother of all cows, and that she dearly loved Krishna, and that Indra and that cow will have to go to Krishna, and then he had to offer prayers.
So then Indra eventually offered prayers to Krishna, and then there was this gorgeous, elaborate, opulent bathing ceremony of Krishna, where Indra, the Surabhi cow, as well as all the devatas, they all bathed Krishna. No? So like this, we see how the matter was resolved. Very nice. Thank you, Vivansh. So today, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we will be seeing chapter 28 from the Krishna book. Titled
Releasing Nanda Mahārāja.
Yeah, really once. Oh, can you still see the screen? I lost it. Yeah. Releasing Nanda Mahārāja from the clutches of Varuṇa. So let us see what happens. Swami, can you please read?
Sure, Mataji. The Govardhan Puja ceremony took place on the new moon day. After this, there were torrents of rain and hailstorms imposed by King Indra for 7 days. 9 days of the waxing moon having passed, on the 10th day, King Indra worshipped Lord Krishna, and thus the matter was satisfactorily settled. After this, on the 11th day of the full moon, Ekadashi, Maharaja Nanda observed fasting for the whole day, and early in the morning of the next day, Dwadashi, he went to take a bath in the river Yamuna.
Ekadasi means it's the 11th day of the lunar cycle. It's the 11th day of the Kṛṣṇa Paksha and the Shukla Paksha, which means it's the 11th day of the waning moon and the 11th day of the waxing moon. So the moon cycle has this 15-day and 15-day cycle during the month. No? So the 11th day of the waxing moon and the 11th day of the waning moon is Ekadasi, is the day when we do not have any grains, at least. No minimum fasting level of Ekadasi is we do not have any grains. So Nanda Mahārāja, although he is the father of Kṛṣṇa himself, he also is following Ekadasi. And now it's the 12th day, and on the 12th day, on the Dwadasi, the Vaishnavas, they break the Ekadasi fast. So just as how it is important to fast on Ekadasi, and remember, Ekadasi fast does not mean that we starve. It's just that we are allowed to consume differently. Of course, you can go for a full Nirjala Ekadasi fast depending on what is the level that one can follow. But at least minimum level is we don't consume grains, beans and pulses. So like this, Nanda Maharaj has followed Ekadasi, and on the 12th day now he wants to break the Ekadasi fast. And just as how it's important to follow Ekadasi, it's also important to break the Ekadasi in the particular time window. So if you see your Vaishnava calendar, there is there for breaking the for breaking the Ekadasi fast on Dwadasi, there is a particular time window given. No, you break the fast between this time and that time. So it's very, very important that the Ekadasi fast is broken within that time window. And Nanda Maharaj, he has gone to have a bath in the Yamuna to break the fast on the Dwadasi. So if you come to this moon cycle again, if you see the festivals are normally named according to which day of the lunar cycle they fall upon. For example, what falls on, let's go from Chaturdasi. What festival falls on Chaturdasi?
Ganesh Chaturdashi,
That is Ganesh Chaturthi, not Ganesh Chaturdasi.
Naratamha,
Narsimha Chaturdasi.
Nisriha.
No, Narsimha, claro.
Narsimha
Narsimha
Chaturdasi.
Chaturdasi. So the appearance day of Lord Narsimha falls on the 14th day of the lunar cycle. Then Trayodashi, what falls on Trayodashi? 13th day.
Nityananda Trayodasi.
Nityananda Trayodashi. Excellent. The appearance day of Lord Nityananda. Dwadashi, any festival on Dwadashi?
Rukmini Dwadasi.
Rukmini Dwadashi. Excellent. Muchas gracias. And then Ekadasi, any festival is there on Ekadasi? Can you think of any festival that falls on Ekadasi?
Bhishma Ekadashi.
Bhishma Ekadasi?
We call them sometimes in
Okay,
South
so
India.
yeah, it's Bhishma Ekadasi, but it's an Ekadasi. It's an auspicious day that falls on an Ekadasi. When we say okay, the other festivals that we are talking about is the day of feasting. No, like we feast on Narsimha Chaturdasi, we feast on of course after the fast breaking time in the end. There is a feast in the temple. No, there is a celebration, there is a grand feast. Ekadasi is more a day of austerity, is a day of tapasya. No, is a day of when we fast, and it's a 36-hour fast. No, it's the whole of Ekadasi, the 24-hour period of Ekadasi day, and plus the night. So 12 hours of the night. It's actually a 36-hour fast. Usually, it's a 36-hour fast. Broadly speaking, sometimes a little less and sometimes it's a little more. Okay, Dashami.
10.
Vijayadashmi Mataji.
Vijay Dashami, yes, Vijay Dashami, very nice. Navami.
Ram Navami.
Ram Navami, we celebrate, no? Very nice. Then Ashtami.
Durgashtami.
Durgashtami, very nice. More.
Krishnashtami.
Krishnashtami or Janmashtami, more.
Radhashtami.
Radhashtami also, no? So all these fall on the 8th day of the lunar cycle. So the name of the festival is named after which day of the lunar cycle it falls on. Then Saptami. Seventh day.
Seventh day.
What do we celebrate?
Like in South India, they celebrate Radha Saptami, Mataji.
Ratha Saptami, yes, when Surya Dev is worshipped. Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Anything else? Vaishnava calendar, we celebrate the appearance day of Advaita Acharya, Advaita Saptami, no?
Yeah.
Then Shashti or Shashti.
Like again in South Indian festivals, they celebrate Lord Subramanya, like Shiva's elder son.
His
Subramanya
appearance?
Shashti. Yeah,
Kumar
his appearance
Shashti.
day.
Okay. Okay, very nice. Anything else? The marriage of Lord Shiva and Parvati also, Sital Shashtami. And yeah, Priyanka has written Odana Shashti, the start of the winter. Recently, actually, we had Odana Shashti, no? The start of the winter period. Okay,
Hare
then
Krishna.
Panchami,
Nag Panchami.
Nag Panchami, yes, very nice. Then what else?
Basant Panchami.
Basant Panchami, very nice. Then also the wedding of Lord Ram and Mother Sita, Vivah Panchami. Okay, Vivah Panchami. Then Chaturthi,
Ganesh Chaturthi.
Ganesh Chaturthi, yes. Then Tritiya,
Akshay Tritiya.
Akshay Tritiya, very nice. Then Dvitiya, Dvitiya. Who's the Lord of Death?
Yamraj.
Yama Dvitiya, we celebrate. Yama Dvitiya or Bhai Dooj, as it is more popularly known as Bhai Dooj, we celebrate on Dvitiya. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to speak a little bit about Ekadasi. Why is Ekadasi so important? That Maharaj Nanda, he is being the father of Krishna also, he is observing Ekadasi, no? So who is Ekadasi and why is she so important? So this is explained in the Padma Purana about the appearance of Ekadasi. It's the 14th chapter of the Padma Purana, and Jaimini Rishi, he is inquiring from his spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva. So in order to answer his query, Vyasadeva starts to narrate the story of Ekadasi. So he says that at the beginning of material creation, the Lord created non-moving and moving living entities. And then, of course, not all these entities are going to be all good. So there are going to be some of them who are going to be evil, who are not going to be following the rules and regulations, who are going to be committing sinful activities. So therefore, to punish the evil human beings, he created a personality called as Papa Purusha. Papa Purusha. So what is this Papa Purusha made of? Let us read. Can you read, Swami?
Yes, Mataji. The different limbs of this personality were constructed of various sinful activities. His head was made of the sin of the murdering a Brahmana. His two eyes were the form of drinking intoxicants. His mouth was made from the sin of stealing gold. His ears were the form of the sin of having illicit connection with the spiritual master's wife. His nose was of the sin of killing one's wife. His arms the form of the sin of killing cow. His neck was made of the sin of stealing accumulated wealth. His chest of the sin of absorption or abortion. His lower chest of the sin of having sex with another's wife. His stomach of the sin of killing one's relatives. His navel of the sin of killing those who are dependent on him. His waist of the sin of egoistical self-appraisal. His thighs of the sin of offending the Guru. His genitals of the sin of selling one's daughter. His buttocks of the sin of telling confidential matters, his feet of the sin of killing one's father, and his hair was the form of all sorts of less severe sinful activities. In this way, a horrible personality embodying all sinful activities and vices was created. His bodily color is black, and his eyes are yellow, and he inflicts extreme misery upon sinful persons.
So this is sin personified, Papa Purusha. Now after he created this Papa Purusha, then in order to control this personality, in order to control Papa Purusha, in order to control sin, the Lord has created Yamaraj. And along with Yamaraj, he has created all the different lower planetary systems, the hellish planetary systems. So he has created Yamaraj in order to control Papa Purusha. Now, usually Yamaraj is depicted in a very scary way with very fierce features. But actually, Yamaraj also is a devata. He is a demigod. And he is happy and blissful because he is also engaged in the service of the Lord. What he is doing is because the Lord has instructed him to do. No, because he is rendering service to the Lord, he is happy and blissful. So you can see here, usually he is depicted in a very fierce way. But Srila Prabhupada explains that Yamaraj also is beautiful. No, he is very good looking because he is a devata. And you can see here one carving. This is actually in a museum in India. You can see here Yamaraj is smiling and he is looking very happy and blissful. So anyway, what does Yamaraj do? He passes the judgment, no, the sinful living entities. After, at the time of death, then they are taken to the court of Yamaraj, and then it's like a court, no, and he is told that you are accused of this, and then Yamaraj passes the judgment. So many years you go to this hellish planetary system, then this is the punishment for this, and then the next body that you get because of your activities, so and so. So like that, Yamaraj he passes the judgment in his court, in the court of Yamalok. Okay, now what happens? Coming back to the story of Ekadasi. After he has created Yamaraj and after he has created these lower planet system and this whole system is made up, one day it so happens that Lord Vishnu, he goes to visit Yamaraj in his abode. And there the Lord is hearing the sounds of people crying, and all these people who are in the hellish planetary systems, they are all crying and they are all suffering extreme, out of excruciating pain. They are making these piteous cries and all that. So the Lord, he feels very compassionate when he hears their cries. And in order to help them, then he manifests out of his own form, he manifests the lunar deity of Ekadasi. He manifests goddess Ekadasi. From his own body, he manifests Ekadasi. And then the different sinful living entities, they all began to follow this Ekadasi Vrata, and then they were quickly elevated and they were all quickly going to Vaikuntha. So it is described that actually the Ekadasi Vrata is the most pious activity. It is the head of all the vows that one can follow. Very, very powerful Ekadasi. It can burn mountains and mountains of sin with every Ekadasi Vrata that we keep, every Ekadasi Vrata that we follow. Mountains and mountains of sin can be wiped out. So Ekadasi, that's why she is called as the head of all the vows. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Here in Chile and as well as in India, tomorrow is Ekadasi. Tomorrow is a very, very powerful Ekadasi tomorrow because tomorrow is the day that Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So tomorrow is called as the Ekadasi that comes tomorrow is called as the Mokshada Ekadasi. It marks the advent of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So very, very powerful Ekadasi. Please do follow. Okay, so now everybody is following Ekadasi, they are going to Vaikuntha. Now Papa Purusha is having a problem. So Papa Purusha approaches Lord and he says that please save me from the fear of Ekadasi. He is saying that I have tried to take shelter of so many places, so many men, animal, insects, trees, oceans, rivers, forests, etc., etc. I have gone to the heavenly planets, earthly planets, lower planets. Everywhere I go to take shelter, but I'm not able to protect myself or save myself from the fear of Ekadasi. I'm not finding a place where I can reside. I cannot find a place where I can be free from the fear of Sri Ekadasi. Papa Purusha is telling this to Lord Vishnu. So he says that you only have created me. I am a product of your creation only. So please allow me a place where I can stay. And he's also saying that if everybody follows Ekadasi Vrata and everybody is going to Vaikuntha, then who will remain on the earthly planetary system for your leelas? Who will remain here for your pastimes? No. So, and he's saying, so please give me a place where I can reside. Please give me a place where I can stay. And then Lord Vishnu says, okay, I allow you to reside in the grain, in the foodstuff. There on Ekadasi, on the 11th day, there you can reside without the fear of Ekadasi. This is the reason why we don't take grains on Ekadasi, because remember, in that grain, even though it may be prasad, rice, wheat, whatever is grain, we don't take grain. In that grain, Papa Purusha is residing. Papa Purusha is residing in that grain on Ekadasi. So therefore, even if it is prasad, we do not consume it on that day. We keep it aside, and the next day then we can consume that grain prasad. So we should not take grains on Ekadasi. When we are eating grain on Ekadasi, we are simply eating only sin. We are simply eating only sin. So therefore, we must follow Ekadasi. Okay, let's continue with Kṛṣṇa book. Yeah, Swami, please read.
Okay. He entered deep into the water of the river, but he was arrested immediately by one of the servants of Varuṇa Deva. The servant brought Nanda Mahārāja before the demigod Varuṇa and accused him of taking a bath in the river at the wrong time. According to the astronomical calculations, the time in which he took bath was considered demoniac. The fact was that Nanda Mahārāja wanted to take bath in the river Yamuna early in the morning before the sunrise, but somehow or other, he was a little too early, and he bathed at an inauspicious time. Consequently, he was arrested.
So Nanda Maharaj has gone to take bath in the in the river before he wants to break his fast, but it so happened that the time was technically inauspicious. So the acharyas explain that this was an extraordinary situation where the Ekadasi period was very, very short, and therefore the fast breaking time also was it came earlier than usual. And Nanda Maharaj wants to break his fast on time. As I said previously, it's important that we break the Ekadasi fast on time. So he wants to break it on time. So therefore, he has entered the waters before he can break the fast. And because it is technically an inauspicious time, he has been arrested by the servant of Varun Dev. Varun Dev is the Lord of the oceans. Okay, so I see some hands raised. Shri Radhe Hari Mataji, you have your hand raised.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just had a quick question on Ekadashi. Like you said that the grain has sin in it, not supposed to eat it on Ekadashi, but two points that's Prabhupada is saying to everybody or just ISKCON devotees, because also as it's seen in Odisha Jagannath Puri, that in Ekadashi they eat prasadam and they eat grains too. The other thing I have in India, Vrindavan, 1 second, the Radha Vallabh also Nityan Radha Vallabh Institute in Nidhivan. They also eat, they don't keep Ekadashi, but they are also the worshipper of Radha Vallabh in Vrindavan.
Okay, so what I have learned from the Shastras is that anybody who's above 8 and below 80 should follow Ekadasi Vrata. ISKCON or no ISKCON, Vaishnava or no Vaishnava, this rule applies to everyone. Anybody who consumes grain on Ekadasi is simply taking only sin. So Padma Purana says anybody below the age of 8 and above 80, only then you are excused. But if you are 8 to 80, then one must follow Ekadasi Vrata. And coming to Jagannath Puri, yes, you are right. The only exception to this rule is the prasad that is offered to Jagannath in the Jagannath temple. So that grain prasad which is offered to Lord Jagannath in the Jagannath temple in Puri, only that does not break Ekadasi fast. About the other one that you mentioned, I have not heard of it, so I cannot confirm that. I cannot say yes, I cannot say no because I have not heard about it. But yes, Jagannath Puri Prasadam is that only that grain is an exception. That does not break Ekadasi fast.
Thank
Okay.
you, Mataji. Hare
You're
Krishna. welcome.
welcome. Priyanka?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just had a quick question on Ekadashi. Like you said that the grain has sin in it, not supposed to eat it on Ekadashi, but two points that's Prabhupada is saying to everybody or just ISKCON devotees, because also as it's seen in Odisha Jagannath Puri, that in Ekadashi they eat prasadam and they eat grains too. The other thing I have learned from the Shastras is that anybody who's above 8 and below 80 should follow Ekadasi Vrata. ISKCON or no ISKCON, Vaishnava or no Vaishnava, this rule applies to everyone. Anybody who consumes grain on Ekadasi is simply taking only sin. So
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I have actually two questions about what you said right now. But we have seen the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejecting the grain prasadam from Jagannath Puri as well on the day of Ekadashi. Please confirm it. I may be wrong, but I have heard that also. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not eat, but he consumed it another day after Ekadashi.
Yes, yes. See, if one is a Vaishnava, then one would want to follow it anyway, because you can have the Jagannath grain prasad the next day, no problem. But otherwise, in general, if one is not a Vaishnava and one doesn't have that understanding, and one is eating the Jagannath grain in Jagannath Puri, then it will not break the Ekadasi fast. Okay?
I've understood. Yeah, what was the reason behind the creation of Papa Purusha by Bhagwan Vishnu?
In order to test the non-sincere living entities, those who are not behaving good, those who are sinful. Those who are not sincere, then they would want to engage in sinful activities. Okay?
Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome. Okay, so now Nanda Mahārāja has been arrested by the servant of Varuṇa. Now let's see what happens next. Let's read.
When Nanda Maharaj was taken away by one of the Varuna's servants, Nanda's companions began to call loudly for Krishna and Balarama. Immediately, Krishna and Balarama could understand that Nanda Maharaja had been taken by a servant of Varuna. Thus, they went to the adab of Varuna, for they were pledged to give protection to the inhabitants of Vrindavana, who were all unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Devotees having no shelter other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead naturally cried to him for help, exactly like children who do not know anything but the protection of their parents.
So when Nanda Maharaj went to take bath in the river, he was accompanied by some of his companions, some of the other residents of Vrindavan. Of course, he is the king, no? So he didn't go alone. But when they saw that he has not come out, then they started to call out to Krishna and Balaram for help. And immediately Krishna and Balaram, of course, the supreme personalities of Godhead, they know what is going on. And therefore then they immediately set out to the abode of Varuna. Let's see. Then
The
what
demigod Varuna received Lord Krishna and Balarama with great respect and said, "My dear Lord, actually at this very moment, because of your presence, my life as the demigod Varuna has become successful. Although I am the proprietor of all the treasures in the water, I know that such possessions do not make for a successful life. But at this moment, as I look at you, my life is made completely successful, because by seeing you, I no longer have to accept a material body. Therefore, O Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Brahman, and super soul of everything, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you."
So Varun Dev has received Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram with a lot of respect, no? And of course, he has disapproved of what his servant has done. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam in the shloka, Varun Dev actually uses the word Asura for his servant. He calls him Asura, he calls him demoniac for having brought Nanda Maharaj to his abode, for having arrested Nanda Maharaj. Why he is demoniac? Why that servant has made this mistake? Two reasons the acharyas give. One is because he disregarded that this personality is not an ordinary person. He is the father of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, Nanda Maharaj is Krishna's father. So, of course, he's a pure devotee and he disregarded that. And point number two is he did not even realize the intention of Nanda Maharaj. Why Nanda Maharaj has gone to take bath in the rivers at the inauspicious time. It is described that he went before the first rays of the sun were out, no, that time. So one must always remember the intention behind the action. So this particular servant of Varun Dev, he did not take into consideration, he didn't take into account the intention why Nanda Maharaj is taking bath at that so-called inauspicious time. No? So for these two reasons, the Acharyas explain, the servant of Varundev is actually demoniac, and he himself, Varundev himself, calls him an asura. And the demigod Varuna is very, very respectful to Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. Let's read next.
You are the supreme transcendental personality. There is no possibility of imposing the influence of material nature upon you. I am very sorry that my foolish man, by not knowing what to do or what not to do, has mistakenly arrested your father, Nanda Mahārāja. So I beg your pardon for the offense of my servant. I think that it was your plan to show me your mercy by your personal presence here. My dear Lord Krishna, Govinda, be merciful upon me. Here is your father. You can take him back immediately.
So Indra is apologizing for the offense of his servant. So sometimes the parents, they need to apologize, no? Because parents take the responsibility of their children, or the masters have to take responsibility of their servants. And therefore, this is called as collective karma. Sometimes the leaders have to pay for the karmic reactions of the subjects. Sometimes the parents have to suffer the karmic reactions of their children. No, this is called collective karma. So here Nanda Maharaj, he is asking for forgiveness for the offense of his servant. And he very respectfully tells him that here is your father, you can take him back immediately. So see here, Nanda Maharaj is there on the throne. Actually, Varun Dev very respectfully, he places Nanda Maharaj in his abode on a jeweled throne, and he himself worships Nanda Maharaj. And then when Krishna and Balaram are there, he says that, yes, here is your father, you can please take him back immediately. Let's continue.
In this way, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, rescued his father and presented him before his friends, bringing them great jubilation. Nanda Maharaj was surprised that, although the demigod was so opulent, he had offered such respect to Krishna that was very astonishing to the Nanda, and he began to describe the incident to his friends and relatives with great wonder.
So Nanda Maharaj now is brought out of the abode of Varun Dev by Krishna and Balaram, and he is so amazed when he saw that opulent abode of Varun Dev. Of course, Varun Dev is a devata, is a demigod. So his surrounding, his ambience, his place of residence is very, very opulent, no, very, very opulent. And Nanda Maharaj was very, very amazed to see that opulent Varun Dev has so respectfully worshipped Krishna and Balaram. So that has amazed Nanda Maharaj. Let's continue.
Actually, although Krishna was acting so wonderfully, Maharaja Nanda and Mother Yashoda could not think of him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead, they always accepted him as their beloved child. Thus, Nanda Maharaja did not accept that fact that Varuna had worshipped Krishna because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, he took it that because Krishna was such a wonderful child, he had been respected even by Varuna.
So as we have previously described, no, how for the residents of Vrindavan, the sweetness of Krishna completely overshadows the opulence of Krishna, because they are at the level of spontaneous love for Krishna and Balaram. So Nanda Maharaj, even after he has seen how Varun Dev has worshipped Krishna and Balaram, he still is not willing to accept that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because his love for Krishna completely overshadows the opulence of Krishna. So he is thinking that actually they worship Krishna because he is a wonderful child. No? So that love never diminishes for the Vrajavasis. Let's continue.
The friends of Nanda Maharaja, all the cowherd men became eager to know if Krishna was actually the Supreme Personality and if he was going to give them all salvation when they were all thus consulting among themselves. Krishna understood their minds, and in order to assure them of their destiny in the spiritual kingdom, he showed them the spiritual sky. Generally, ordinary persons are engaged simply in working hard in the material world, and they have no information that there is another kingdom or another sky, which is known as the spiritual sky, where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. As it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, a person returning to that spiritual sky never returns to this material world of death and suffering.
So after Nanda Maharaj has come back, he's telling his friends about what just happened in the abode of Varun Dev. And then the Vrajavasis, the other cowherd men, they are also amazed and they are now wondering, they are eager to know if Krishna is actually God. And if he is God, then is he going to give us mukti? Is he going to give us salvation? No. So like that, they are consulting, they are discussing amongst themselves. And Krishna being God, he understands the mind of the Vrajavasis and he wants to ease their doubts. So he shows them and actually he merges them. No, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that what Krishna did was he merges all these Vrajavasis in the Brahma Jyoti. So remember, there are three aspects of the absolute truth: Brahman effulgence, then we have Paramatma, and we have Bhagavan. Now, Brahman realization means to realize that God is a light. No, is a light. So from Krishna's body, there is light emanating. That is called as the Brahma Jyoti. And the incomplete understanding of the absolute truth. It's not that it's wrong, it is correct, but it is incomplete. No, so the incomplete understanding of the absolute truth is God is only a light. But higher than that understanding is the Paramatma realization, where one realizes Krishna as Paramatma, or the super soul who's residing in the heart of every living entity, right from the ant up to Lord Brahma. And then the most complete realization of the absolute truth is Bhagavan realization, to realize God as a person, So here, what Krishna did was, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that he temporarily deprived the Vrajavasis of Krishna Prema. So remember, they are at the spontaneous love level, no, these Vrajavasis. But Krishna temporarily deprived them of that Krishna Prema and he merged them into the Brahma Jyoti. And then, of course, he is God, nothing is impossible for him. And after that, he withdraws them from the Brahma Jyoti and he shows them Vaikuntha. He takes them to Vaikuntha and there they realize something, but that we will see in the next slides. Okay, so this is what Krishna has done. He merges them in the Brahma Jyoti, withdraws them, and then he takes them to Vaikuntha. And here, see, Srila Prabhupada explains that a person returning to that spiritual sky never returns to this material world of death and suffering, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. So here you have the shlokas where Krishna repeatedly tells that once we reach the spiritual world, then we will not come back again to this material world. So these verses you can read when I share the slides in the group from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let's continue with Krishna book.
Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always eager to give information to the conditioned soul that there is a spiritual sky far, 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 far beyond this material sky, transcendental to the innumerable universe created within the total material energy. Krishna is, of course, always very kind to everyone, every conditioned soul. But as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, he is especially inclined to the pure devotee. Hearing their inquiries, Krishna immediately thought that his devotees in Vrindavana should be informed of the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets therein.
So because Krishna is especially inclined to the pure devotees, therefore Krishna showed them and allowed them to have the experience of the spiritual sky, Brahma Jyoti, as well as the Vaikuntha planets. So see this verse here, Krishna is of course very much kind to every conditioned soul, but as stated in Bhagavad Gita, he is especially inclined to the pure devotee. So this is the verse here. 9.29. Chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita is titled The Most Confidential Knowledge. So here Krishna is saying, Samoham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyaham. So first he's saying that he is samo, he is equal to all the living entities, sarva bhuteshu. He's saying that he is equal to all the living entities. Na me dvesho and na priya. He's saying that I do not hate anyone, neither is anybody very dear to me. Priya means dear, no? So Krishna, first two lines of the shloka, he says that he is equal to all. Then in the next two lines, he's saying, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. But if anybody who's engaging in bhajanti to me, to mam, so anybody who's engaging in devotional service to me, then that devotee, that bhaktya, then Krishna says, then that bhaktya, mai te teshu chapyaham. then that person is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So in the second two lines, Krishna is saying that he is partial to his devotees. So this verse can be confusing for somebody who does not consult Guru Sadhu Shastra. If we don't read Shastra under the guidance of Guru Sadhu, then we may not be able to understand correctly, and we may be confused, because here first two lines he says he's equal, next two lines he says that he is partial to the devotees. So how to understand this? The point is, Krishna is partial to his devotees. The devotees are very dear to Krishna, but Krishna is allowing anyone and everyone to become his devotee. No, Krishna is an equal opportunity employer. Anybody can take advantage, take to devotional service, take to bhakti, and become the devotee of Krishna, and then become dear to Krishna. So in that way, Krishna is equal to all. Everybody has the opportunity to take to devotional service. Nobody is excluded. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, under any circumstance can take to bhakti. That is the glory of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, let's come back to Krishna book.
Within the material world, every conditioned soul is in the darkness of ignorance. This means that all conditioned souls are under the concept of bodily existence. Everyone is under the impression that he is of this material world, and with this concept of life, everyone is working in ignorance and different forms of life. The activities of the particular type of body are called karma of fruitive action. All conditioned souls, being under the impression of the bodily concept, are working according to their particular type of body. These activities are creating their future conditioned life. Because they have very little information of the spiritual world, they do not generally take to spiritual activities, which are called Bhakti Yoga. Those who successfully practice Bhakti Yoga go directly to the spiritual world after giving up this present body, and they become situated in one of the Vaikuntha planets.
So see, our activities, the current activities that we do, that is creating our future life. So if our activities are sinful, then the future life is conditioned. If our activities are centered around bhakti, if we are engaging in devotional services, then the future is not conditioned life, but liberated life, a life with Krishna, a life with an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge. So here, for example, she's a model and she's posing on magazine covers with very little clothing. So it's in full display for the public. So because of such activities, then in the next life, she gets the body of a tree. So the tree also is in full public display and without any clothing on. So because that's the mentality, and then this is the seed that she has sown for her future body. In this case, this person is eating meat. So because he likes to eat meat, then the next life he gets the body of a tiger, because the tiger can eat meat without any problems, without any issues, without collecting any more karma. Then here this person loves to sleep, but human life is not meant for sleeping. Neither is human life meant for openly displaying or openly eating meat. I mean, not openly, but eating meat, because meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling, these are the 4 sinful activities that are very, very strictly prohibited. If one follows this principle of no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling, that is what brings us to the level of being a human being, first of all. Just brings us to the level of being a human being. Because if we are engaging in these sinful activities, then there is no difference between us and animals. Because animals are also eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. We are also eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But human body is not meant for only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Human body is meant for bhakti, meant for tapasya. So coming back to this example, this person loves to sleep. So next body gets the body of a polar bear, where for several months she is allowed to sleep. Here this person is eating indiscriminately, eating anything and everything. Whatever is there on the plate, this person will just eat indiscriminately. So next life he's getting the body of a hog, The hog also eats all kinds of trash without any discrimination. So whatever we do in this life, we are sowing the seeds for our next body. Let's continue.
The inhabitants of Vrindavana are all pure devotees. Their destination after quitting the body is Krishna Loka. They even surpass the Vaikuntha Lokas. The fact is that those who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and mature, pure devotional service are given the chance after death to gain Krishna's association in one of the universe within the material world. Krishna's pastimes are continuously going on, either in this universe or another universe. Just as the sun globe is passing over many places across the earthly planet, so Krishna Leela or the transcendental advent and pastimes of Krishna are also going on continuously, either in this or another universe. The mature devotee who have completely executed Krishna consciousness are immediately transformed to the universe where Krishna is appearing. In that universe, the devotees get their first opportunity to associate with Krishna personally and directly. The training goes on, as we see in the Vrindavana Leela of Krishna. Within this planet, Krishna therefore revealed the actual features of the Vaikuntha planet so that the inhabitants of Vrindavana could know their destination.
So where does the entity go after he has attained perfection? According to what we just read.
Vaikuntha
he
was
will-
also Krishna Loka.
He will go to the Krishna Loka,
So what do you mean by Krishna Loka?
wherever Krishna will appear in different times on different planets.
Yes. See here. The mature devotees who have completely executed Krishna consciousness are immediately transferred to the universe where Krishna is appearing. So even now, in some planet, in some universe, in this material world, Krishna is present. He's speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, or he's killing some demon. So these are eternal pastimes. All these pastimes of Krishna, these are eternal pastimes. They are always going on, no? And in some planet of the universe, Krishna is displaying his pastimes even now. So what happens when a person has perfected himself in Krishna consciousness? First, that person gets the opportunity to associate with Krishna directly or in personally and directly in that particular universe where Krishna is appearing. So there the training goes on, and then he can go to his next destination, which is Goloka or Vaikuntha or whatever. So this is what happens before one can go to the spiritual world. One is in the same planet as Krishna, where Krishna is displaying his pastimes. So some of these Vrajavasis are like that. They are undergoing the training there. They are with Krishna in that earthly Vrindavan. He appeared here in our universe 5,000 years ago, right? And along with him came his eternal associates, and some of them are also those who are going through that training period, and therefore then after that then they will proceed to their next highest destination. So first they go to that universe where Krishna is displaying his pastimes. This is what we have read over here. So which do you think is a better place, the Brahma Jyoti or the Vaikuntha planets or that material universe where Krishna is displaying his pastimes? Which is better of these three?
Vaikuntha planets and material universes where Krishna is.
So choose one of the three. Which is the best?
Material universe where Krishna is
Yeah, material.
Yes. Because even though it's from the external angle of vision, the material planet, but because Krishna is personally present and one is personally present in that planet, associating with Krishna personally and directly, therefore that is more pleasing, most pleasing, even better than Vaikuntha. What is it that Vaikuntha does not have, that this Bhauma Vrindavan has, or the earthly Vrindavan has?
Vaikuntha planets don't have any kunta, like it's klesh free. And here there are asura leelas and all of these different leelas that you perform and you activate.
Krishna Prem.
Yeah.
Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema. If you say Krishna Prema, you mean love for Krishna, love for God. What exactly one thing that is not there? More particularly.
One may not see the Leelas of Krishna in Vaikuntha planets.
One cannot see the Leelas of Krishna in the Vaikuntha planets. That is in Bhauma, Vrindavan. So therefore what happens when these Vrajavasis, when they are in the Brahmajyoti, then they are withdrawn, then they go to Vaikuntha. What they are searching for over there is Krishna. They see Krishna is not here. So then they realize that actually we are enjoying the most with Krishna in Vrindavan. Because there Krishna is personally present and they are getting maximum joy over there. Of course, Krishna is present in Vaikuntha, but not as Krishna. He is present as
Lord Vishnu.
Lord Vishnu. He is present there as the four-handed Narayan form. So there the relationship is more formal, more formal. So these Vrajavasis, then they realize that, oh, the joy that I am getting here in Vrindavan with Krishna is not there in Vaikuntha, and definitely it is not there in the Brahmajyoti. So that is the realization they get. And this is what Krishna wanted them to realize. This is what Krishna wanted to show them. Therefore, he does what he does. Let's continue.
The Krishna showed them the eternal, ever-existing spiritual sky, which is the unlimited and full of knowledge. Within this material world, there are different grades of forms, and according to the grade, knowledge is proportionality manifested. For example, the knowledge in the body of child is not as perfect as the knowledge in the body of an adult man. Everywhere, there are different grades of living entities. In aquatic animals, the plants and trees, in reptiles and insects, in birds and beasts, and in the civilized and uncivilized human forms of life.
So there are different grades of living beings. In the material world, you can say, yeah, this is our universe. Like that, there are different universes. So within this material world, there are different grades of human beings. But once one goes to the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha planets or to Goloka, there is Satchitananda. There is eternality, bliss, and full knowledge. Let's continue.
Above the human form of life, there are demigods, charanas, and siddhas, and up to Brahmaloka, where Lord Brahma lives. And among these demigods, there are always different grades of knowledge. But beyond this material world, in the spiritual sky, everyone is in the full of knowledge. And therefore, all the living entities there are engaged in devotional service to the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the Krishna Loka.
So see, above the human form of life, there are demigods, charanas, and siddhas on up to Brahmaloka. So here, this is the Bhurloka, earthly planet, where we are situated. Above this earthly planet is the Bhuvarloka. Above that is the Swarga Loka, the abode of the Devatas. Then you have Maharloka, where you have the Maharishis. Then you have Janalokas, the planet of the Saptarishis, 7 sages. Tapoloka, those who do a lot of austerities, tapasya, they are in Tapoloka. And the highest planet is Satyaloka, Lord Brahma's abode. So like this, there are different, this is our universe, 14 planetary systems are there. But doesn't matter where you are in the 14 planetary system or where you are in the whole cosmic manifestation, whether you are in spiritual world or you're in the material world, anywhere you are, one can engage in bhakti. There is no place where one cannot engage in bhakti. So there is no excuse that I cannot do bhakti. Let's continue.
As it confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, full knowledge means knowing Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita, it is also stated that in the Brahma Jyoti or spiritual sky, there is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or electricity. All the planets there are self-illuminating, and all of them are eternally situated. There is no question of creation and annihilation in the Brahma Jyoti or spiritual sky. The Bhagavad Gita also confirms that beyond the material sky, there is another eternal spiritual sky where everything is eternally existing. Direct knowledge of the spiritual sky can be had only by great sages and saintly persons who have already surpassed the influence of the influence of three material modes of the nature by engaging in devotional service or Krishna consciousness. Unless one is constantly situated on the transcendental platform, it is not possible to understand the spiritual nature.
So full knowledge means knowing Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one can accept and really understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then there is nothing more left to be known. It is considered that you have all knowledge. No? So full knowledge means knowing Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is saying this? Krishna himself is saying this in the Bhagavad Gita. See here, this verse from the 15th chapter. Let's read the translation.
Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting, it is the knower of everything. He is therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
So if you only know Krishna as Purushottam, Janati Purushottamam, if you only know Krishna as Purushottam, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he is the knower of everything. Then he is Sarvavit. He is the knower of everything. So nothing else one has to know beyond Krishna. Let's continue.
Therefore, it is recommended that one should take to Bhakti Yoga and keep himself engaged 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness, which places one beyond the reach of the modes of the material nature. One in Krishna consciousness can easily understand the nature of the spiritual sky and Vaikuntha Loka. The inhabitants of Vrindavana, being always engaged in Krishna consciousness, could therefore very easily understand the transcendental nature of the Vaikuntha Lokas. Thus, Krishna led all the cowherd men, headed by the Nanda Mahārāja, to the lake where Akrura would later be shown the Vaikuntha planetary system. They took their bath immediately and saw the real nature of Vaikuntha Lokas. After seeing the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha Lokas, all the men, headed by the Nanda Mahārāja, felt wonderfully blissful. And upon coming out of the lake, they saw Krishna, who was being worshipped with excellent prayers. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 20th chapter of Kṛṣṇa, releasing Nanda Mahārāja from the clutches of Varuṇa.
On that note, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Do we have any questions? Yeah, Priyanka?
Very good. That random question came when you were talking about the 14 planets. Is there any relation between the 8 planets that we see currently in the solar system, like Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, and these 14 planets?
That my understanding is that is in the earthly planetary system only. The earthly planet is a planetary system. It's not one planet. It's a planetary system.
Oh, okay. I thought that it is only Earth, which is
No,
referring
it's
to
a planetary system. There are different planets.
Achha.
Okay. For example, this planet is previously called as Bharatavarsha, but Bharatavarsha is only one part. There are different khandas and different varshas, and Bharatavarsha is only one of the southern part of the planetary system. That comes in the Vedic cosmology. I will share one PDF. It's there in detail how this earthly planetary system is divided into different khandas. Khanda, and then there are different mountains that are dividing these different khandas. So our khanda is called as Bharatavarsha, and that is divided by the Himalayas. Like that, there are different khandas and different mountain ranges which are dividing the other parts of the earthly planetary system. I will share one PDF in the group. You can see it's very nice PDF to understand Vedic cosmology.
Oh.
Okay.
Actually, one more doubt got clear. I thought that Bharatvarsha was like as we are studying in geography, like all the continents were clubbed together. They are like jigsaw puzzle. So I thought that initially it was called Bharat. So all the continents clubbed together was called Bharat initially. So I thought that it is Bharat, all the continents. So, but yeah, you cleared that only southern part was called Bharat.
No. Okay, wait, let me get the, let me see if I can quickly get the PDF. 1 second. The southern part of the entire planetary system is Bharatavarsha. I'm not talking about the southern part of the planet. The planetary system is called Bharatavarsha.
And the southern part means which are all the planets will be available in that?
They are khandas. They are called as different khandas. Khandas.
What is the English meaning of Khanda? Is it place that
Khanda is like a place. Yeah, a place. What should I? No, I'm not able to find it. I'll need
It's
time
like
to
a part
look
of
into
the
it.
different parts of the present material world, like.
Yes, yes. A different power. The material world is, see, when we say earthly planetary system, it doesn't mean only our earthly planet. It's an entire system, and it's divided into different khandas. And our earthly planet is actually called as, the whole planet was called Bharatvarsha, what you were saying, Priyanka. That is correct. But that is only the southern part of the entire earthly planetary system. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And like that, there are different khandas. There are different, also, or they are called as Varshas also. And our part is called as Bharatavarsha.
okay,
I'm
apart
checking.
from our part also
Like if
there
you, Mataji, if you check in the Google, some image is coming.
Yeah, I think I found one here. 1 second. Because I had a very nice PDF stored. Yeah, I found one photo. 1 second. Can you see this photo?
not yet, Mataji. Yeah, now we are able to take.
Now you can see?
Yes, yes.
See, so see here, you can see there are different varshas here. This Bharat Varsha is the southern part of this middle planetary system. Okay, so this is our planet, Bharatavarsha. It is divided by the Himalayas. So like that, there are different varshas. Here, see, this is called Kim Purusha Varsha. That is divided by this Hemakota mountain. Then here you have the Hari Varsha, and that is divided by the Nishada mountain. So like that, you have these different varshas or different sections. Okay, and all this is the innermost circle of the earthly planetary system. This is Mount Meru. This is Mount Meru, and this is the innermost circle. Like that, there are different circles outside of this inner circle. So this is the innermost circle, which is divided into 9 varshas and these different earthly planetary systems. So here behind also have one, here you can see Uttarakuru Varsha, and then you have this mountain which is here, mountain range, and then you have another Varsha, another Khanda, and then you have this mountain range. So like that, you have these different Varshas here. Out of this is the innermost circle of the earthly planetary system. In the middle, you have the Sumeru mountain or the Mount Meru. On top of Mount Meru is the abode of Lord Brahma. Okay, so in the middle planetary system, earthly planetary system, you have Mount Meru in the center. Then you have this innermost circle, this one, and south of that is Bharatvarsha, our planet. And beyond this, there are other such places. After this inner circle, there are more places. So this is the earthly planetary system. It's not only our planet, is the point I'm trying to make.
So Himalaya written that does not mean that Himalaya we see in India.
Yes, yes.
Is it same or is it different? Because if it is
What we
same,
see
then
is only a minute portion, but there is much more beyond that. But what we see is only a minute portion. And this is a saltwater ocean around our, so we have read now before that there are different kinds of oceans. You have the saltwater ocean, you have an ocean of milk, you have the ocean of sugarcane juice, there is an ocean of honey, like that. There are different oceans. So you have different islands and then an ocean, and then one more island, one more ocean, one more island, one more ocean. So this is the innermost island surrounded by the saltwater ocean where we are located. Then there is another island which has another ocean, another island, another ocean, like that. And all that together is the earthly planetary system. Sapta Dvipa, if you Google Sapta Dvipa, let's see if I can find it here. See here. Actually, this is the PDF that I was searching for. Now I found it. See here, Sapta Dvipa. So this is Jambu Dvip. This is what we just saw. This Jambu Dvip is divided into those different khandas, no, Bharat, or the different varshas. So this is the
And
innermost circle. Here, right in the center of Jambu Dvipa is the Mount Meru. So beyond Jambu Dvipa, you have the saltwater ocean. Then you have these other dvipas surrounded by the different oceans, like Jambu Dvipa, salt ocean, Plaksha Dvipa, sugar ocean, Salmali Dvipa, liquor ocean, Kusha Dvipa, ghee ocean, like that. There are these different dvipas surrounded by different oceans. So this Jambu Dvipa, which is the innermost island, innermost circle, is what we saw in the other photo.
sometimes when we are starting in South India, any kind of spiritual austerity, they say, Mataji, Jambu Dvipe Bharata Varshe Bharata Kande, and then they will say Ishanya Dakshina Bhage, Sri Shailasya Dakshina Bhage. Like they will mention it is like Sri Shail taking considered as a Sri Sailam is in the center position for the entire system, and then they will say whether it is south or not, something like that.
See, yeah, exactly. So now you know why they say south, right?
Yeah.
So this is where we are located. Is it clear? So this Jambu Dvip here is what is here, magnified over here.
Okay. Okay.
So this whole thing is the earthly planetary system. What else do we need to discuss? Okay, our exam. We have an exam today. I almost forgot. One second, let me share the link.
Will the exam on today's class? Or
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
By mistake, I joined late. Is it possible I can take the exam on next Saturday?
Okay, you can take it next Saturday, no problem.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you'll have to exit the Zoom so that you don't have access to the questions. Are you there, Shivani? Oh, she already left the chat, I think so. Okay, here is your link. Your time starts now. 12:16 here.
Mataji, can you put it one more time? Didn't access.
Okay, one second. Here it is. I shared the link again.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you please share it again?
Okay. There you go, one more time in the chat.
Yeah, now I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hare
Mataji, why
Krishna,
can't I
I
get
cannot.
it? Yeah.
You didn't get it?
No, even
Mataji,
I
it is.
didn't get.
What about the
It
rest?
is
The
open,
rest can
Mataji.
access it or no? Is it there in the chat?
Yes, I accessed.
Yes.
It is because of internet issue.
Okay, I'll share it again in the chat. One more time. Let me know if you can access. Dipti and Divya.
It's not. By the time you just press on it and it goes away. Can't access it.
Okay, should I send it to your WhatsApp?
Yeah, please.
Okay, Dipti and Divya, I've sent it to your WhatsApp.
Okay. Can you go to my WhatsApp?
Hare Krishna, I submitted.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me check.
Mataji submitted also.
Okay, one second. That was quick. Yeah, received from Jolie, Priyanka Jha, Macarena, Swami, and Vivansh. Thank you.
I submitted, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can we leave, Mataji?
Yes, if you have finished your exam, you can exit. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.